E10 Vapor Lock Demonstration and Vapour Separator Action. This is a video presentation about the effect of E10 gasoline on carbureted engines and how a vapor separator affects the fuel system operation. The demonstration vehicle is a Jeep CJ5 equipped with a 134 cubic inch F4 engine, stock fuel tank, stock mechanical pump, and stock Carter YFSD 138 carburetor. The fuel line has been insulated against heat from the exhaust system. Air temperatures during testing were in the range of mid-70s Fahrenheit, or low 20 Celsius, to mid-80s Fahrenheit, or high 20 C. Section 1. Stock Fuel System Operation. This first section will demonstrate operating without a vapor separator system. This is after the engine has been running for about 10 minutes. Note the level in the fuel bowl above the intake screen and lack of bubbles in the bowl and hoses. At 20 minutes running time, only a few bubbles showing up in the pump bowl. After 35 minutes, the fuel pump temperature is reaching 140 Fahrenheit. There is now a lot of activity at the pump and fuel feed, but still no bubbles at the carb. My supposition is that the 3.5 to 4.5 psi pressure between the pump and carb is preventing the bubbles seen on the low pressure side of the pump. At 40 minutes, runtime pump temperature is still 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The carb is 100. Engine temp is 148. Around 45 minutes runtime, there's vigorous boiling at the pump bowl, and vapor is now reaching the carb. However, a few minutes later, something interesting happens. The boiling dies down and the bowl begins to refill. I have no explanation for this. It happened a few times, but I'll only show this one instance. If you have an explanation, please post in the comments below. 50 minutes in and the bowl is starting to fill with vapor again. Over the next few minutes, we're back to an empty bowl, and now the lines as well. The Jeep now seems to be running on vapor. final temp checks, and shutdown. About 10 minutes after stopping, the carburetor temperature has risen to almost 140 degrees. A restart is attempted. Note that this demonstration was run while operating at a fast idle with the hood open. Under load would definitely create more heat, and parking with the hood closed would certainly exacerbate the restart issues. Section 2. Vapour Separator. This section will show the effects of adding a vapour separator to the fuel system. The vapour separator utilized is a common canister design type with 3 ports. The internal arrangement is this. As can be seen, the inlet tube allows fuel into the canister at a level above the outlet tube. This ensures that only the liquid fuel at the bottom of the canister will go to the carburetor. The return tube inlet is at the top of the canister, where any vapor will collect and be pushed out the tube back to the fuel tank. In order to maintain fuel pressure to the carb, this tube has a metered orifice restriction to impede raw fuel flow when there is no vapor present. In practical terms, on this vehicle, adding the separator and return will drop fuel pressure at the carb from approximately 4.5 psi to between 2 to 3 psi. In this case, the separator is mounted to the engine's oil fill tube below the oil filter. Initial temperature checks. Note that we now have the return line from the separator visible next to the fuel line that's feeding the pump. After 10 minutes run time, as in the first section, no signs of bubbling yet. We are now at about 35 minutes running time. Carb temp is only about 125 degrees or 20 degrees lower than it was when running without the separator, and there is little to no bubbling in the fuel bowl. In fact, the fuel level is remaining above the filter screen. It appears that the increased flow of fuel through the pump is having a definite cooling effect on it. The bubbles in the return line are probably caused either by heat being added in the separator itself, or more likely the pressure drop on the downstream side of the separator's return tube orifice. As in the first section, we're again at approximately 50 minutes run time. Pump temperatures are actually falling and bubble activity remains the same as at the 35-minute mark. The fuel bowl level is above the intake screen with little or no bubbles showing. We'll now shut down and allow the engine to cool down for 10 minutes. 10 minutes stopped, and we'll check the temperatures.
10 minutes after shut down.
Now we'll attempt a restart. And we start right up with very little vapor in the carb line. Note that the bowl refilled immediately. A far better result than without a separator, as evidenced by the results in Section 1. Thanks for watching.